Welcome, IMSA. Are you ready for a celebration of leadership and inspiration? Today, we honor the alumni who have taken what they learned here at IMSA and literally changed our state, nation, and world with it.
But before we dive into the awesomeness of our Alumni Award winners, we'd like to take a moment to thank Dr. Leon Lederman, IMSA's founder and Nobel Prize-winning physicist.
Yeah, Haley. Dr. Lederman's words are quite literally etched into IMSA's walls. He believed that with a strong basis in logic, science, and math, the next generation could solve the world's most complex problems. That's why IMSA exists. IMSA is a launch pad, and we get to see how far alumni have flown.
That's right, Adi. As Dr. Lederman once said, the young people who pass through IMSA will astonish you. And today, you'll see just how right he was.
And that's exactly why IMSA's Board of Trustees decided in 2006 that they would recognize these astonishing alumni through the Alumni Awards program.
That's why we'd like all of you to join us in thanking Kathy Veal and the Endowment for alumni recognition that allows us to recognize and celebrate these teachers and students in the past.
It's time to learn a little more about Dr. Lederman. It is my pleasure to introduce the IMSA principal, Dr. Angela Rowley.
Good morning, IMSA community, students, staff, faculty, honored guests, and the number of our alum and former faculty, emeritus, and others who are joining us today. I'm deeply honored to stand before you as we pay tribute to the life and legacy of a visionary whose profound impact is felt not only within these walls, but across the globe. Dr. Leon Lederman, Nobel Laureate Prize winner in physics and former director of the Fermi Lab, was not just a brilliant physicist. He was a dreamer, a doer, a man whose passion for both the sciences and education inspired generations. Under his leadership, Fermi Lab achieved a monumental milestone, the development of the Treviton, the world's most powerful superconducting accelerator. This achievement not only advanced the field of particle physics, but also symbolized the relentless pursuit of knowledge that Dr. Lederman always championed. But Dr. Lederman's legacy doesn't stop there. His commitment to science went far beyond the lab. He cared deeply about the future of science and math education in Illinois and across the nation. This concern led him to the groundbreaking ideas. With others, the establishment of the Illinois Mathematics and Science Academy. He envisioned a place that would inspire and challenge students of exceptional talent and interest, a place where curiosity would be ignited and scientific minds would flourish. Dr. Lederman was more than just a scientist. He was an educator, a mentor, an advocate for young people, and for some of us referred to as Uncle Leo. He believed deeply in you, our students. He believed that students with a passion for discovery could truly change the world, and he devoted his life to ensuring that you had opportunities to do just that. Perhaps the best way to understand Dr. Lederman's hopes and dreams is for you to hear it directly from him. As you watch this video clip, I hope you're inspired to think about how you too can be part of this legacy, how you can use your talents and passions to make the world a better place, to advance the human condition, just as Dr. Lederman always believed we would.
If we do what we know is right, we know what we feel is right, it's bound to happen that among our graduates there'll be numbered scientists, engineers, and those who go on to earn degrees in law and the humanities. There are likely to be those few who create new intellectual worlds, cure a human ailment, or in some other way significantly influence life on our planet. Philosophy, because we don't know which of our students will do these things. Our philosophy will be to treat our charges as if each one is capable of this extraordinary achievement. Only one such product will make the effort and expense of this school for its entire duration worthwhile.
This assembly is one way that we honor Dr. Lederman. and honor those who are living the vision that he had for the Illinois Math and Science Academy. Another way is through the Lederman Scholar Award. This award recognizes faculty or staff that publish research embodying the spirit of discovery and innovation for which this award and Dr. Lederman stood for. With that, I'd like to introduce our 2024 Lederman Scholar Award winner, Dr. Sean Bailey, History faculty, and ask him to share a few highlights of his research.
All right, good morning. First of all, allow me to add my congratulations to our distinguished alum and welcome them home to IMSA. I am very honored to be the 2024 Lederman Award winner, and I would like to spend just a few minutes talking about the research that led to that award. Basically, my research was a rethinking of the environmental history of the Chicago River, and I hope to find amidst 200 years of absolutely horrific human decisions, interspersed with a few feats of inspired engineering, hope for the future of this river. Chicago was incorporated in 1833 as a village of 300 people near the mouth of the Chicago River. That river then flowed very slowly into Lake Michigan. And so important was this water supply for the future of the city of Chicago that they decided to spend the entirety of the 19th century attempting to destroy it. So by 1900, Chicago is the fastest growing city in the entire world, and its river is an open sewer, a virulent trough of decaying meat, bone, and blood from the nearby meatpacking industry, industrial waste, cholera bacteria, and most infamously, human waste, human excrement. The quote-unquote modern sewer system in Chicago simply dumped raw sewage into the river, which then flowed very slowly into Lake Michigan, thereby poisoning the only water supply in the area. This in the late 19th century, Chicago decided to fix this. Now, they didn't decide to stop polluting the river. That would be too forward-thinking. But instead, they did something pretty remarkable. Completed on January 2nd, 1900, the city of Chicago reversed the flow of the Chicago River, completely reversing it to flow westward. This is the first time in human history that a civilization reversed the flow of a major river anywhere in the world. So the pollution still existed. The filth was still there. We simply sent it that way, towards the Mississippi River, eventually past our good friends in St. Louis, Missouri, and into the Gulf of Mexico. But if you still lived in Chicago, the pollution still impacted your lives. Disease was rampant in Chicago. So in order to fix this, Chicago engineered a new solution. They completed what at the time was one of the greatest wastewater treatment systems in the entire world. The American Society of Civil Engineers named this one of the 7 wonders of the world, on par with the Golden Gate Bridge, the Hoover Dam, and the Empire State Building. And in order to improve this water supply, the city of Chicago used chlorine to bleach the water of any disease-causing pathogens. That's great for human beings. It's terrible for nature. It's terrible for the fish that attempted to live in that river. So by the mid-1960s, only about 10 species of fish could survive in the Chicago River, and many of them were non-native. But then human beings made what I think is a fantastic decision. Congress passed the 1972 Clean Water Act, which required not just Chicago, but all Americans to clean up their water supply. And in doing so, the fish returned. Today, nearly 60 species of fish swim in the Chicago watershed, and other animals have followed. Deer, coyote, foxes traverse the city along the banks of the Chicago River. River otters frolic underneath elevated train bridges. Occasionally, a beaver will build a dam in the shadow of a skyscraper. My favorite story, in 2008, a full-grown cougar walked its way into the north side of Chicago, into the Roscoe Village neighborhood, most likely by following parts of the Chicago River. And those animals, the human beings in Congress, and all those animals that use the Chicago River give me hope for the future. Human beings are the cause of this problem. Human beings are the cause of most environmental problems in the world. But human beings are also the only species with the ability to make conscious decisions to make this world a better place. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Bailey, and congratulations. It's now time to honor our 2024 Alumni Award winners. I'd like to welcome Dr. Glazer to the stage.
Good morning, everyone. It's great to see you all here today. And at first, I'd like to extend a warm welcome to many visitors we have to celebrate this occasion. We have distinguished alumni guests. We have proud families of our Alumni Award recipients. We have faculty and staff emeriti. And we also have our esteemed Presidents Emeriti, Dr. Stephanie Pace Marshall, and also Dr. Jose Torres. Your presence today enriches the celebration, and I'm grateful for your continued dedication to IMSA. I mean, look at all the people who came back to honor our former students. You all were incredibly instrumental in supporting, igniting, nurturing the people we're honoring today. I am so much grateful for you being here, for everything that you've done to support and enrich the lives of the people who are our honorees, who are going to tell the story. And we firmly believe it's not just IMSA, it's all the people along the way who make a difference in their future. Dr. Lederman's vision and unwavering commitment to advancing science and education have not only shaped IMSA into a remarkable institution as it is today, but also inspired countless students to pursue excellence in their fields. It's in the spirit of excellence that we gather to celebrate the outstanding achievements of our alumni. For our students, I hope you hear these stories and realize that our alumni were in your shoes, that you see this potential of possibilities for your future. The IMSA Board of Trustees established its Alumni Awards program in 2006 to recognize individuals who have made significant contributions to their fields, to IMSA, and to the citizens of Illinois, our nation, and the world. And each spring, the Alumni Awards Review Committee convenes to review nominations across these categories and make its recommendations for recipients, which the IMSA Board of Trustees approves in the fall. I personally look forward one day to be sitting in the front row and honoring one of you for one of these awards in the future. Right now, we honor this year's award winners for their remarkable achievements and leadership, which embody the very values that Dr. Lederman championed that he shared in that video. I also want to take a moment to acknowledge all alumni who generously support our students in IMSA. Many of you, alumni, volunteer your time as STEM career panelists, speakers, and mentors. So for example, just this past year, 17 of our alumni recognized the importance of mentoring relationships directly with our students, whether that is through the Med Society, Med for Minorities, SIR, and the internships through Into. They directly said, this type of experience I had at IMSA was so meaningful, I want to find a way to give back, pay it forward, and mentor an IMSA student. We are so grateful for contributions like these. Now, as we celebrate the accomplishments of our award program, I am thrilled to now introduce the IMSA Chamber Strings Orchestra for a musical tribute in their honor. Thank you all for being here and your unwavering support of IMSA.
Thank you to the orchestra for such an amazing performance. But now I'm happy to kick off. I'm happy to kick off the highlight of our event, the 2024 Alumni Awards. First up is the Titan Award. The Alumni Titan Award honors alumni who provided outstanding service to IMSA, helping advance the institution's mission and its work. The honorees are enthusiastic and energetic IMSA champions who dedicate significant time and talent to endeavors at IMSA. Our amazing winner for the 2024 Titan Award is Brian Cudiamat. Brian is a manager of visitor services and events at Spurlock Museum of World Cultures at University of Illinois. After earning his bachelor's in computer science there, he volunteered at the Krannert Center, which led his role as patron services director in 2003. He later joined Spurlock as the coordinator of special events, managing events, building operations, and staff. A dedicated IMSA alum, Brian stays connected through campus visits and online platforms and served 3 terms as the president of IMSA Alumni Association from 2017 to 2023. Please welcome Mr. Cudiamat.
Well, this will be exciting. Like most of my assignments, not most, a fair number of them, I've been working on this up until actually 2 minutes ago, so we'll see how this goes. Have fun. I hope you enjoy, or I'm sorry, we'll see what happens. It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. First, the formalities. I would like to thank the Board of Trustees for this award. I suppose if you put your mind to it and work hard, you too could be recognized for your efforts by an unknown nominator. So let this be a cautionary tale. Someone could be watching you. Sorry, not sorry in advance for the thank yous. If I'm the first Alumni Award winner to ever be played off stage, so be it. I would like to thank my family, my mom and dad, Flora and Tom, my brother Mark, and IMSA wife and alum Denise, 1999, sons Andrew and Alex, my sister Cheryl, and her daughters Isabella and Mia. I'm fortunate to have had a support system that values hard work and education. They're all represented today by my sister and my Auntie Pearl and Lindsay. So, hello. Auntie Pearl and Lindsay, both of them last visited IMSA when I was performing in the chamber choir concert back in the old cafeteria in 1995. So, welcome back to campus. Representing my college years today is Cornelio Casaclang, who was an advisor, mentor, and now friend. And if you're transcribing my speech, please note that I use the Oxford comma, because I love the Oxford comma, along with lists and clarity. Thank you to Sandy Giannini, my math teacher for all of middle school, for nurturing my academic pursuits way back in the day, and for telling my mom and me about IMSA. And greetings to all alumni, past, present, and future, in person, and those that may stumble upon this online, because if it's on the internet, it's pretty much forever. Special thank yous to Matt Isoto from 2002 and Stephen Page and Tim Messer from 2000 for their friendship and their efforts while serving with me on the IMSA Alumni Association. Hey, what's up? Okay, let's get real. When I first heard that I was getting this award, I consulted with my primary personal historian, Diana Gregory, from the class of 1997, about what I should say to you all, and she replied with 4 words: be awesome, don't suck. I then asked if there was anyone to whom I should confer credit, and she replied that I had said that at some point, so there you go. I could also tell you what I would tell my student employees when they work for me. Those words are, don't be stupid, don't make me cry. Alas, let's take a step back. Maybe I should be more mindful, more demure. The last time I addressed a large crowd was literally my senior year during the homecoming pep rally in this gym as an MC boasting the awesomeness of my classmates. Go class of 96. Oh, okay. That's fine. Lost my place. Okay. I went to U of I, majored in computer science, and unlike most of my peers, I did not follow the traditional path. I now work for a museum of world cultures, and at times some have said that I wasn't using my degree, my talents, and my skills. But what I can tell you is that I constantly use my problem-solving, analytical, and critical thinking skills. I'm not just talking about trying to figure out why the laptop's HDMI signal isn't reaching the projector or coming up with lighting plots. I'm also managing the variables of people and of life, or shall we say, functions that are not necessarily straightforward. I was taken aback one day almost 2 weeks ago. After having just walked into my office, one of my colleagues, we'll call her Abigail. Her name actually is Abigail, so that's fine. It's appropriate. She marched in and very quickly asked, "Hey, what is a linear system?" I paused and replied, "Wait, what? Did you Google it?" She said, "Yes," and that didn't help me at all. So I said, "Okay, when was the last time you took math? How much did you hate it? And why did you need to know about this in a professional manner?" Abigail says it's been 20 years, her freshman year in college, and by all accounts, definitely not a fan of math. Part of her job is to work with campus professors to tie their classes to stuff at the museum. This task is easy if you're working with someone in classical civilizations, and we've got some Greek and Roman statues and plaster casts of the Parthenon frieze on display. But this time, she's working with a math class. By all accounts, I have not done anything really mathy in quite a while, except for when it's late at night and the YouTube algorithm occasionally summons a video by Presh Talwalkar to solve a puzzle, or Matt Parker presents some fascinating mathematical questions. So what do you say to that? Let me pause to say that the algorithm also shows me travel-related content, and right now it's feeding me random videos of people watching 80s videos like Ferris Bueller's Day Off for the first time. So, classic. So here's the thing. Here are my words of wisdom. 1, whatever your goal is, whatever your life plan is, and however you plan on getting there, both of those are subject to change. Life is bound to throw you an unexpected curveball, for better or for worse, and how you handle and adapt to things is also important. 2, eat, sleep, and be happy. I'm not saying you need to fake happiness, but taking care of yourself is important, and life is a little more enjoyable when you've got some positivity around you. I can't say I'm not too terribly disappointed that today isn't also doubling as a plot to a Hallmark movie. You know, where some handsome gentleman returns to his high school, only to find him meet cute with some local stranger on the way. But hey, if it happens, shooters shoot. 3, learn and work hard. And while you may need some luck once in a while, do your best to put yourself in positions to succeed. You can't be in a successful rock band unless you take lessons first or find a time machine. And 4, travel around a bit, meet some people, challenge yourself to do something a little different once in a while. And as the last place finisher in the 2009 hot dog eating contest regional competition in Kansas City, I can't say that was necessarily the best life choice, but being able to experience that was made possible because sometimes your friends, your network, will find ways to assist you in crossing things off your bucket list. You'll learn and experience so much more of this planet on which we live. Might I suggest celebrating New Year's in Times Square once, which is a grueling, crazy experience, or perhaps maybe celebrating it twice by crossing a time zone line. So before I go, let me steal a page from Kathleen Plinsky, class of 1997, who is currently president of Valencia College in Florida. When she speaks to her commencement ceremonies, she takes a selfie with the crowd, so I can't not because I'm not going to get invited back here again. So just a moment. Awkward silence. That's right. Okay. All right, way to not make any noise, but sure. Okay, the closing. It is increasingly more difficult to decide to run away and live off the grid in the woods or an underground bunker. So even if you're an introvert, P.S., I'm actually introvert, you're going to have to interact with others. Life is a giant group project sometimes, which can be incredibly annoying, but doing it all by yourself is even worse. That's why I'm thankful to all the people and experiences that have made my life the one that I enjoy. I can't help but give back to IMSA for what my experience here has given me and for how it plays a part in my life. And you don't have to be a famous person or a content creator or entrepreneur to make a difference, because we all have something we can contribute. Show up and be a part of all the things about which you care. And I guess that's why I'm here. So, in addition to seeing what my fellow alumni have done, I am equally as eager to hear about what all of you will do, be it in some newspaper, if those still exist, or on Instagram, or TikTok, or whatever. And for the record, I did manage to give an example of a linear system of equations that relates to objects in the collection. So, congratulations to the other award winners, Sara and Jess, and thank you all.
Congratulations, Mr. Cudiamat, and thank you for all that you do for IMSA. Next, we have the Distinguished Leadership Award. This award goes to alumni who have made achievements or leadership contributions in their professional fields consistent with IMSA's mission. And the winner of the 2024 Distinguished Leadership Award is Dr. Sara Goeking. Dr. Sara Goeking is the National Program Manager for the U.S. Forest Service's Forest Inventory and Analysis Program. As the first woman in this role, she focuses on building inclusive, cross-disciplinary teams to address gaps in forest knowledge. She also mentors early career forest scientists globally, promoting gender equity in climate science. Dr. Goeking's research, which spans large data sets, remote sensing, and climate science, has contributed to major forest management decisions, including listing whitebark pine as a threatened species. Her dissertation challenged the assumption that forest disturbances increase water supply, finding that in arid regions, they actually reduce it. She holds degrees in environmental and watershed sciences and forest ecology. She has led efforts across Asia, Africa, and South America to help countries address forest carbon and climate agreements. Motivated by a deep appreciation for nature and data, Dr. Goeking credits her love of learning to her time at IMSA. Please welcome Dr. Goeking.
Good morning. I want to thank the IMSA community and the Board of Trustees, and of course my family, for everything that has led up to being here today. Thanks to the IMSA community for inspiring my lifelong love of learning. As a student at IMSA and at my home school in Mount Morris, I heard many times, and maybe you have too, that I had leadership potential. But I was never quite sure what that meant. So today, 32 years after graduating and leaving IMSA, I'm still learning what it means to lead and to be a good leader. Today, I'd like to share some of my perspectives on leadership with you in the hopes that it will help you all identify your own leadership potential and share it with the world. To be clear, I did not set out to become a leader. I just wanted to study trees and forests and rivers. And so I became a forest scientist. And over the years, I've spent thousands of days and weeks in wild places across multiple continents. The diversity and complexity of forests inspires awe in me even today. One of the key milestones on any leadership journey is to find what motivates you individually. And for me, a major motivation is being able to continually spark that sense of awe. But that's not enough to be passionate or motivated by something. You also need to be good at something that is useful and needed in the world. Most foresters, including me, are not known for being good with people, but we have a strong sense of purpose and a motivation to do meaningful work. When I first began studying forestry in the 1990s, one detail that I was taught was that if future climate conditions deviated strongly from past climate, then trees would show signs of stress and even mortality. Less than 20 years later, I found that those patterns predicted by my professors were already occurring. Throughout the country and around the globe, forests face threats from wildfires, insects, and weather catastrophes such as hurricanes and droughts. So what does that doom and gloom have to do with what is needed in the world? For me, it presented an opportunity to fill knowledge gaps with reliable information about forests and forest management. My research has been the basis for major policy decisions, but I've also been able to build teams that can accomplish more together than I could myself. Finding my personal sweet spot in forest research has been essential to my ability to impact the world around me. But more than that still is needed. It's one thing to arrive at a leadership position, such as a supervisor or a manager, and it's yet another to be a true leader. So how do you know if you are a true leader? The best answer that I've heard is that you know you're a leader when people start willingly getting behind you and following you. You set a direction, and they move in that direction with you, following your example. So how does good leadership happen? In my opinion, once you've found that intersection of what you love, what you're good at, and what is needed, then kindness is the #1 criterion for good leadership. Kindness is essential for working as part of a team or building a team. It's often more critical than expertise or knowledge. Kindness also means being inclusive and encouraging people with all kinds of backgrounds and perspectives and ways of thinking to work on the big challenges and opportunities in the world today. So if you've had someone tell you that you have leadership potential and you know exactly what that means, then I envy you. You are already on your way to personal success and the opportunity to have a positive impact in the world. I did not possess that clarity when I was here as a student at IMSA, and as a relatively late bloomer, my journey continues today. If you don't know yet what it means for you to have leadership qualities, you're not alone. And don't be afraid to see the answers to these questions evolve over time. At the tender age of 42, I decided, to keep working my job, go back to school, and earn a PhD in hydrology to better align what I'm good at with what the world needs today. As IMSA students, you all have leadership qualities. I hope you enjoy the journey of getting to know yours and know that your ideas and perspectives can help solve the big challenges facing us today. So you give me hope. Thank you for that. Thank you to the Board of Trustees and to the IMSA community for being part of my lifelong education.
Congratulations, Dr. Goeking. Our final award is the Alumni Trailblazer Award, which honors IMSA alumni whose groundbreaking achievements have significantly impacted how large groups of people live, learn, and work. These recipients embody Dr. Lederman's philosophy of alumni who create new intellectual worlds, cure human ailments, and significantly influence life on our planet. And the winner of the 2024 Distinguished Leadership Award is Jessica Droste Yagan. Jessica is the CEO of Impact Engine, an investment firm focused on driving capital towards businesses that deliver both financial returns and positive social and environmental impacts. Under her leadership, Impact Engine invests in transformative companies committed to economic and social good. Before Impact Engine, Jessica developed global and US sustainable sourcing strategies for McDonald's, integrating ethical, environmental, and economic sustainability into their supply chain. She also worked in urban economic development with the Initiative for a Competitive Inner City. Jessica holds degrees from Haverford College, Stanford, and Harvard. She serves on multiple boards, has co-authored Harvard case studies on public-private partnerships, and was named Crain's Chicago Business 40 Under 40 list in 2013. Please welcome Jessica Droste Yagan.
Thank you. It's always hard to go last, so. Although I was at a conference this week and I ran into a 14-year-old who I asked for his advice on what would be inspiring, what should I say, and he said, don't take this personally, but nobody my age is really gonna listen to anything you say. So I figure I have nothing to lose. Thank you so much for the honor from the Board of Trustees. And thank you so much for all the people who made it possible for me to be here and to make it through here, because getting here is just the first step. As many of you know, it can be kind of hard at times. I particularly want to call out my parents who are here and were able to surprise me today. And Keith McIntosh is here somewhere, a mentor to me while I was here. My in-laws came as well, so thanks to everyone, and Dr. Marshall, everybody who's been a part of making this community so special. It is basically impossible to overstate how much IMSA has influenced my life. Yes, it opened up academic and life opportunities that I never could have imagined from my small Southern Illinois rural town. Yes, I met my husband here. So that has influenced, who my kids are, the life I live. But it also taught me some important lessons. And that's what I want to kind of share back with you. It is a school after all. None of my lessons are about math or science. I'm sorry to those professors who I might be disappointing. One, I learned a totally new way of learning. So instead of just being read textbooks or memorizing things or figuring out things that have been figured out before me, the idea that you had to figure out what are the right questions to ask. In my American history class, I learned absolutely no American history. I can't tell you anything about it. But I remember we spent most of a whole semester answering the question, should we take the penny out of circulation? That was it. Just go figure that out. And you had to take into account history, politics, costs, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that was such an amazing lesson, which has actually been even more valuable. When I showed up at McDonald's Corporation and they're buying $20 billion worth of food and packaging around the world, you have to be like, where do I start? What are the biggest impacts? Which ones are most important? Which part of the world? How do I have influence? Who makes decisions? And so being able to ask those questions is really much more important than having the right answers. Second, I learned that failure is okay. I came into IMSA a straight A student, sort of top of my class, no problem. I got my first B's and C's and D's here. And it's a valuable gift, honestly, to learn that early in life. That it's okay to fail. It's actually necessary to fail. You can't do anything great if you don't fail. After McDonald's, I became an impact investor, which is investing for both financial and social returns. It turns out most investors think that's totally crazy. And I can conservatively estimate that I've been rejected over 2,000 times while I'm trying to convince investors to invest in this way. But along the way of those thousands of rejections, I've raised over $200 million to prove out this idea that you can invest for both financial and social returns. Now there are thousands of impact funds out there, and there are going to be tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands, and I think this is going to be the way we all invest in the future. Third, part and parcel with failure, I learned to be comfortable with not being the smartest person in the room. It was a really big part of my identity before I got here, and it was hard to lose. But it turns out you actually cannot do big, important things by yourself. And so the sooner you learn to be comfortable bringing smarter people in with you, the more you will be able to accomplish. Unfortunately, in leadership today, there are a lot of people with big egos who don't like to have people smarter than them around them, and then they can't get much done. But if you can embrace the fact that you're surrounded by people smarter than you and bring those people with you, bring those people to you along your journey, you will accomplish great things. All that to say, I'm very grateful I have been able to work on something I love at a time and place where it happened to help create a new industry and a new field. And I'm very grateful for that and excited. But I also want to be clear that I believe that the work of advancing the human condition does not require curing a dreaded human ailment or discovering something new or building a new industry. I really believe that it can happen in everyday, well-trodden paths, like high school teacher or family doctor, whatever path you go down. I think you can advance the human condition, and I think it's about having a mindset. Instead of being a taker of the world, like, okay, this is it, this is what I'm gonna do, this is how it is, be a maker, and think about how you can change and make whatever it is you do better for the humans around you. I'm confident you will, and I want to thank you in advance for all the things you're going to do to make the future better for me and my kids. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Ms. Droste Yagan, and to all of our 2024 Alumni Award winners. As we close out this event, I'd like to welcome Dr. Rowley to the stage.
Thank you, Haley, and once again, congratulations to all of our award winners. Today we celebrate you, our alumni, who have blazed trails, taken risks, and achieved great things. It feels fitting at the same time to debut a specially prepared song in this setting because just like the award recipients, the song represents our commitment to trying new things, exploring fresh ideas, and deepening our connections here at IMSA. This song started out as a senior auction item bid on by Michelle Bemis, our administrative assistant in our student affairs office. It was supposed to be a song written for her, but she asked the students to write a song for IMSA. I'd now like to invite Damaris Benzar to join me on stage to present the lyrics in spoken word so that you can hear all of the words, followed by the first ever a cappella performance of this song.
Thank you, Dr. Rowley. Hello, IMSA community and friends of the IMSA community. As Dr. Rowley mentioned, my name is Damaris Benzar, and today I have the privilege of introducing and reading the text of the original piece, the IMSA Song. Written and composed by members of IMSA's very own Society of Musical Performers, the IMSA Song is, as the name suggests, about everything IMSA, from inside references and jokes to the noble aspirations that founded this academy. The song encapsulates it all in a way only those who have truly lived the IMSA experience could. Now I will recite the text of the IMSA song. When the sun rises over the hills, there's a spire standing still. Enteleki remains ever strong. Breathing in the springtime air, blossoming trees and grassy air, IMSA sparkles bright amongst the thaw. 7 friends on 05 slabs, Axis walks across no pond sands. Forget check, better run. Like a spire we rise once more, IMSA Titans 30 score. Makes me want to sing my IMSA song. Secant, tangent, cosine, sine. 3.14159. I, pi, cube root x. IMSA holds the very best. Advancing the human condition, igniting boundless creative visions, ready to take whatever comes. The halls may clash, but we stand as one. Beside each other, we'll reach the sun. IMSA Titans stand together strong. Secant, tangent, cosine, sine. 3.14159. I, pi, cube root x. IMSA ever in my heart shall rest. Thank you. We hope you enjoy the performance.
When the sun rises o'er the hills, there's a spire standing still, and Teleki remains ever strong.
Breathing in the springtime air, blossoming trees and grassy air, IMSA sparkles bright amongst the thaw. 7 friends on 05 slabs, access walks cross no pond sands. Forget, check, better run. Like a spar we rise once more. IMSA Titans 30 score. Makes me want to sing my IMSA song. Secant, tangent, cosine, sine. 3.14159. I, pi, cube root x. IMSA holds the very best. Secant, tangent, cosine, sine. 3.14159. I, pi, cube root x. IMSA ever in my heart shall rest.
Advancing the human condition, igniting boundless creative visions, ready to take whatever comes.
The halls may clash, but we stand as one. Beside each other we'll reach the sun. IMSA Titans, IMSA Titans, IMSA Titans. Stand together strong. Secant, tangent, cosine, sine. 3.14159. I, pi, cube root x. IMSA holds the very best. Secant, tangent, cosine, sine. 3.14159. I, pi, cube root x. IMSA ever in my heart shall rest.
Thank you to our performers, our songwriters who will also compose the entire score. So that is done by both some current IMSA students as well as our recent alum, both lyrics and music composed by our students. Congratulations once again to our 2024 Alumni Award winners. Thank you to our honored guests, everyone who shared this special event with us today. This concludes our celebration, and I will give